Hello there. Sometimes I wake up and I make myself coffee. Sometimes I wake up and I drive all around town and I spend upwards of $200 buying every can of coffee that I can find. You can guess which one I did today. Now there is a lot of RTD coffee out there. RTD standing for ready to drink coffee, or more commonly known as the cans of coffee you find at gas stations or stores that you grab on the go. I have many of them. We're gonna taste them and try to find the best, but when buying them, I discovered we couldn't just have one category. We have 4 categories today. So before we begin, before we start tasting things and descend into the abyss, let me introduce these categories to you. Tray time, everyone. Be right back. We have 3 more trays. And by the way, everyone, Graham is in the studio today, so there may be color commentary from the Peanuts gallery. The nice thing here is I have all the power with being the one with the lab, and so they only get to hear what gets picked up on my mic. Yippee! Now stop. We are truly trusting the integrity of these IKEA trays here. Okay, a lot of things going on here. Let me shuffle. Sorry, everyone. We're off the rails a little bit. First things first, our beginning category is going to be just black coffee. These are cold brews and iced coffees with nothing added to them. Now we get this one. Second category is going to be our Nitro cold brews. All right, third category, and by far the largest, is going to be our milk beverage category. This is where things get a little bit interesting and perhaps a little bit questionable. And finally, we have the 3 drinks that I couldn't in good conscience put in any of these categories. These are gonna be our energy coffee drinks. I bought them, and by the time I bought them, it was too late, and they're here and now. We're gonna drink them and we're gonna rate them. Okay, we're gonna start with our plain black coffee. We're gonna keep it simple. Today we're gonna use a 1 to 10 scale for ranking, no decimals, and we're gonna be ranking purely on enjoyment, which is gonna be the summation of both flavor and texture. We'll be rating these all within their own categories. Yes, there may be times where I prefer a black coffee over a milk drink, but that doesn't mean a milk drink can't be good. So we're gonna be considering it within the context of what it is. Let's begin. Starting off with a classic, we have Stumptown's Cold Brew. Bottoms up. It's very nice, very pleasant, very smooth, very chocolatey. I'm gonna give that a 7. Oh, this is Nitro. Oh, this does not belong here. Oh, I thought I had done such a good job sorting. Moving along from Nosa Familia, we have their iced coffee. Lovingly brewed with our full cycle blend. Balanced, smooth, and refreshing. We brew this coffee hot and then flash chill it. Lovely. Cheers. Very similar texture and feel to the Stumptown Cold Brew. A little bit lighter, a little bit fruitier in the flavor. Very, very nice. This is enjoyable. Very low acidity. I'm gonna also give this a 7. It's different, but I think I enjoy it just as much. Groundworks Organic Cold Brew. Steeped for 24 hours, notes of dark chocolate and hazelnut. Lovely. Cheers. Definitely more nutty than anything we've had so far. A little bit heavier in the body. This feels like a darker coffee was used than some of the other ones. I'm gonna give this a 6, but it's still a very nice cold brew. If I brewed that at home, I'd be very happy. CC Motors, cold brew coffee. I'm gonna get very good at opening cans today. Cheers. A little bit higher acidity, nice body to it, pretty smooth. You can have a 6. I think I enjoyed the Stumptown a little bit more than this one. We are ripping through at a brilliant pace right now. Water Avenue, cold brew coffee. Tasting notes of milk chocolate, orange zest, and cherry. Those feel like very traditionally cold brew tasting notes. Cheers. Cherry really comes through on that. Honestly, like really nice, kind of like dark red fruits, a little bit more pronounced than some of the other flavors. I might give this kind of feels like an 8 to me. That is a very, very pleasant cold brew. A little bit more complex than I'm used to with these as well. Last up on our plain black coffee, from upper left, we have an Ethiopian flash chilled coffee. Fruit forward and floral flavor from lush single origin Ethiopian terroir. Cheers. Definitely fruity. Very like strawberry and like very bright cherry. Like it's not a super dark stewed cherry. Mouthfeel is good. This has definitely got the most acidity out of all of them. It's a nice, like, I don't know, it's kind of like a soft, like malic acidity. It's not super sharp. I will 8. It's really nice. At the top of our ranking of our plain black coffee, we have a cold brew and we have an Ethiopian flash chill. Let me taste side by side once more and see if there's a defined winner. They're different, but they are both very, very good. I'm gonna set these both aside. They will come back in the finals.
I want to give a huge thank you to Trade for sponsoring today's video. If you ask me how to make better coffee at home, the #1 answer I'll always give you is to start with better coffee and also explore different types, both of which are possible through Trade. For example, this month I got the Dad Bod blend from Sightseer for espresso and a washed Peruvian single origin from Broadsheet for filter. Now, if you didn't know, Trade is a coffee subscription service that partners with the top independent roasters across the US and handpicks coffees that'll show up freshly roasted to your doorstep on the schedule that works best for you. And don't worry, if shopping for coffee is intimidating or you're not sure what you want to explore, Trade will meet you where you are with a wide variety of roast levels, flavor profiles, and origins. You're sure to find something you like as well as that perfect jumping off point into the world of specialty coffee. But you don't have to take my word for it, and you don't have to continue settling for just okay coffee. Right now, head over to drinktrade.com/MDC to receive your first bag for free. That's drinktrade.com/MDC to get your first bag free with any subscription.
Moving on to our Nitro cold brews. Sometimes these will come with instructions, so if there are serving instructions, we'll follow them. If they don't, we'll drink straight from the can. First thing, Portal Beverage Lab Nitro cold brew. Small batch, favorite brew of dragons, mindfully crafted. Ooh, this is using puff coffee. Cool. Bold, sweet, and refreshing with notes of chocolate, cherry, and cola. Seemingly no instructions. Let's enjoy. Ooh, it's just like candy erupted out of that. Like tart berries and deliciousness. You know, I thought we had to be worried today, but so far we're having like a lovely time. 7. Very nice coffee. Rise Brewing Co. The instructions? Not seen any so far. It's frothy, delicious, and refreshingly smooth. It's all good. Let's enjoy. That was a loud one. Cheers. Ooh, that one's got, there's like a chocolate thing happening in there. Like a chocolate cola that I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of. Off the bat, this has got the most head and texture on anything we've tasted so far. I'm gonna give this a 5. I'm not crazy about the flavor, but the texture is very nice. Groundworks Nitro cold brew. I will note this one also says bitches brew, which is quite a bit of fun. Any instructions here? No instructions. We drink from the can. Pretty middle of the road. Nothing too exceptional in there. It's pretty smooth, very low acidity. Not really anything discernible flavor-wise, but it's pleasant. It's very drinkable. I'm gonna give that a 6. Lucky Jack. Cheers. Kind of a malty root beer. Tastes very dark. Like you can taste the roasting on that. I'm gonna give that a 4. The Star of Bucks Nitro cold brew. Gently shake can once, pop open, and pour hard into a cold glass. You like expect more to happen when there are instructions, but very little happened there. Oh, it tastes like Starbucks. There is a very, very distinct flavor on that. However, you can see now that you have that pretty distinct like Nitro cold brew head that is formed here. Texture is honestly pretty pleasant. This is what I would expect out of a Nitro cold brew. Flavor is, it's Starbucks flavor. It's that flavor. So I'm gonna give this a 4. And lastly, Stumptown's Hairbender Nitro cold brew. Instructions? Anything here? Nope. We are good to go. Good pop there. Cheers. A little bit lighter, very true to that like Stumptown profile that we tasted in the last round. I can even see in here that we have a good amount of like that Nitro head forming on this drink, which means texture is pretty pleasant. Honestly, as far as a Nitro cold brew goes, I'm gonna give that an 8, which leaves us with our top rated Nitro cold brew being the Stumptown We'll set it aside. Nervously, let's move on to our next category. All right, I'm doing the walk of shame right now. This is inevitable when we have this much coffees. The CC Motors coffee was a Nitro coffee. I'm still leaving it with the ranking that I did. However, I would like to note, because I'm sure you all noticed, that this is Nitro rather than the plain coffee that we had the category in. I'm so sorry, everyone. We now enter the largest and most terrifying of all the categories. We have the milk category, which really anything goes here. When I mean anything goes, I mean in the back here, we have a Twinkies coffee that we'll get to, don't worry. But for now, let's start at the front and we'll work our way back. I can already feel a little bit of the buzz from drinking so much coffee. I'm also very nervous because most of these are dairy, which means I'm gonna have an interesting afternoon. La Colombe Draft Latte, cold brew with oat milk. This is a double. How nice of them. Very light texture, lighter than I'm used to with oat milk. Very sweet. If I was in a pinch, I could probably crush this. I'll give it, it's like 5. It's very sweet. Stumptown cold brew coffee with oat milk, chocolate flavor. I do like this sort of Tetra Pak. Cheers. It is very oat forward. Like it is oats to the face. The chocolate is very subtle in this. It's not nearly as rich as I might expect. I'll give this like a 4. Could definitely finish it. I think this really needs to be fully chilled on ice. Like I think drinking this out of the Tetra Pak, especially if it gets a little bit warmer, is like somewhat less of an ideal experience. It's just all La Colombe and Stumptown all the way across here. La Colombe cold brew with regular milk, vanilla flavor. This will be a fun compare and contrast. Very sweet. These are incredibly sweet. And I know I like sweet things. We're all very conscious of that here. This is a little bit puckering for me though. Texture is good though. If you like sweet things, I think you'll like this. It is not very coffee forward. I'm gonna give this a 4 as well. Probably could not finish it all. The original Stumptown cold brew with oat milk. Cheers. Honestly, I like that more than the chocolate. I think it might be the chocolate that's contributing to like the really oat forwardness of everything. Without the addition of chocolate, it feels a lot more balanced. I'm gonna give that a 6. It's pretty tasty. Dunkin'. A rare surprise and treat for me in the Pacific Northwest, where we do not run on Dunkin', unfortunately. We live by Starbucks, apparently. I think I've been to a Dunkin' like 3 times maybe in my life, and I think most of them have been airport Dunkins. This is just the original flavor. Cheers. I said the La Colombes were sweet. Little did we know what we were getting ourselves into. Texture-wise, I think this is probably my favorite. This feels the most like the consistency of like an iced latte. It is powerful in the sugar category though. I'm gonna give that a 4. Like, I could drink it, but this is a sweet treat right here. Pop and bottle vanilla cold brew oat milk latte. It's getting a little bit hard to read all of these. Cheers. Oh, interesting things happening. I thought I didn't like it, but then I sat with it for a second, and now I think I do like it. Interestingly enough, this is like the most vanilla drink we've had so far, in the sense that it like actually tastes like vanilla flavor, not just like sweetener is in there. It is sweet, but the balance of flavor and the presence of flavor, I think is really nice. I'm gonna give that a 7. As a sweet latte, I think that might be my favorite so far. Califia Farms Mocha Almond Latte, our first almond milk today. I have consumed so much liquid so far. Cheers. Actually, I'm not usually one for almond milk. I'm usually an oat person. That is very, very nice. I'm gonna give that an 8. The presence of chocolate is there. It is rich, it is sweet without being overpowering. It still tastes like coffee, and then that almond milk both provides a really nice nuttiness, but additionally, the texture and consistency is like thick and rich, and it imitates whole milk in a really nice way. It's a good latte. High brew, double espresso. This is in here because although it doesn't look like a sweet drink, there is milk and sugar in here. This is a very low-fat milk, which means this is kind of watery and kind of unpleasant, and I am giving it a 3. Let's continue. It's the next one up. The High Brew Mexican Vanilla Latte. Pardon me, no, it just says Mexican Vanilla, but it's confusing because there is milk in here, which would constitute it being a latte. But anyways, I digress. bottoms up. It's interesting that we had that other vanilla latte first, because in this one, I think the vanilla tastes very, very artificial. Like it's not very filling. We've got that weird, like reduced fat, like kind of wateriness to this entire thing, plus being a little bit oversweet. I'm gonna give this like a 2. I'm sorry, I think that's what it has to be. Shake gently, crack slowly. Slate mocha latte. I have to shake gently, must not forget. Crack slowly. Good job, Morgan. Cheers. Oh, it's like a very fruity chocolate. Good grief. What else is in here? Coffee, skim milk, monk fruit, stevia. Stevia, that's what it is. There's like a very, very distinct sweetness in here that I'm not a big fan of. Definitely the stevia. If you like stevia, I think you'll like this. If you don't like stevia, I don't think you will. Personally, I'm gonna give it a 3. Oh boy, super coffee. This is the vanilla iced latte flavor. This has 200 milligrams of caffeine. Apparently, it has 5-star flavor, which is very exciting. All right, we're just gonna go for it. I can see the milk solids inside. For all this branding and for all the big bombastic words we have on here, I expect it to be more coffee forward, but this is like, I know I've said this this is the sweetest thing we've had. I'm gonna give it a 2 because I don't find it very enjoyable, but also I'm just like, there's like this discrepancy here between what I was expecting and what I've been served that I'm having a hard time coming to grips with. And I think it might just be the amount of coffee I've had today, but regardless, that's that. Oh, okay. Dunkin'. What is this again? A cake batter donut. Frankly, I am excited for this. This could be a whole adventure. All right, shake and wake, best served chilled. This has been in the refrigerator. We are good to go. Let's enjoy our cake batter donut ice cream. I think when people make fun of American coffee culture, they think this is very normal and this is what everyone drinks all the time. It's not. These are very much novelty products, but they are sometimes fun to taste. Sometimes these are excellent, and sometimes they're horrific. Let's find out. I think they're just required to call it donut flavor because it's Dunkin'. It's definitely just a cake batter. In fact, I'm not quite sure what a cake batter donut is. I mean, I know a cake donut, but I've never heard a cake batter donut. That is 1 shade off the color of printer paper, so I'm not quite sure how much coffee there is actually in there. I'm gonna give this a 2, but it was a delight to try. Continuing with Dunkin's dessert series, apparently, we have the brownie batter donut. Again, I think they're just legally required to say donut because it's Dunkin'. Cheers. I mean, it's a mocha. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's all that is. I have had a standard Dunkin' mocha before, from a cafe store. What do we call it, Dunkin'? I have had one of those, and it was frankly rather repulsive to me. This is not. This is fine. And after everything we've had so far, I'm gonna give it a 4 because if there was one thing in the recent drinks that I would continue to drink, it would probably be this one. We're on to the rather ominous ones. We couldn't be doing this without one of the Starbucks frappes. I got the coffee flavor. seemed appropriate versus everything else. This brings back childhood. There was a time in my life where my dad would buy these and bring these home. I don't think I've ever held one since I was probably 8 or 9. Cheers. Doesn't really taste like coffee, does it now? 3. Ever since I saw this on the shelf, I have been eagerly awaiting this video. We have here the Hostess Twinkies Iced Latte. I'm just delighted to try anything that doesn't exclusively taste like sugar and milk here, which maybe this will, but maybe it will also taste like a Twinkie, which is kind of exciting. You can kind of see some milk solids floating at the top there. Cheers. I've had perhaps 2 Twinkies in my entire life, but I'd like to say that I've had a third now because yes, It does indeed taste like Twinkies. Is it good? That's the question. I mean, like, it's a 2. I mean, it is a 2, but it's a fun novelty that has achieved, I think, what it set out to achieve. Snickers. Now, please note at the bottom, before I mix this up, we do have quite a bit of chocolate sitting at the bottom. So let's do some shaking. Now, I am sure Snickers is a very global thing. However, if you're not familiar, Snickers is like peanuts and caramel and chocolate, and that's what I would like to taste in here. It's coffee, skim milk, sugar, cocoa, and then a whole lot of natural and artificial flavors. Which, if you're using natural and artificial flavors, like, you should be able to dial in on this tasting like a Snickers bar. I don't want this to taste good for me. I want it to taste like what it's supposed to be. Graham, it kind of tastes like a Snickers bar. Would you like to try it? Come taste it. It's so peanutty in the most delightful way possible.
Oh. Yeah, but
I know it's not good, but the question is, does it taste like a Snickers bar?
yeah, a Snickers bar. It's like if you ate a Snickers bar, but then you also
You like backwashed it a little bit?
No. You took a handful of like freshly mown grass and like took a bite with it.
You're just eating grass and Snickers.
I don't know. There's something in that aftertaste. It's just really distinctive. It smells like lawn mowing.
You know what? This is a controversial take. I'm gonna give this a 3 just for achieving the quality of Snickers that this has. Finally, in the milk category, we have our Twix coffee. Can you guys look here with me for a second? There's like chocolate at the bottom, but there's also, and I don't know if you can see it here, there's also like these solids at the bottom that are floating around in a rather disturbing way. I don't even know how to describe this, but this requires some thorough shaking. Now, I love Twix. If you ask me like what my favorite like real kind of like trashy candy bar is, it is 1000% a Twix. The texture, flavor combination, sweetness, it is all great. So I will feel personally harmed if this is not that tasty. I need to stop looking down into them. It makes me sad a little bit. I'm feeling personally harmed right now. It's weird because it smells a little bit like a Twix bar. You get into it and it is just sadness and abysmal. It's just sadness and abysmal. Those are the words I have here. This is perhaps our one and only one that I'm giving out. Let's figure out which one was best here. We've been drinking strange milk drinks for so long, I kind of forgot that we did have some really tasty ones in here. Out of everything, our Califia Farms Almond Mocha came out with an 8, which is leaps and bounds above most of these. Also, for posterity's sake, the other ones that ranked fairly high on our scale here were gonna be this Forgetting Pop and Bottle, and also the Stumptown. This was a 7 and a 6 respectively. Am I visibly shaking yet? I feel like I physically feel like I am buzzing a little bit, which makes me even more apprehensive for our final category of coffee energy drinks. We'll start in a place that seems somewhat safe. It seems safer than where we are going here. This is the Double Shot Energy from Starbucks. This has B vitamins, ginseng, and guarana, and it supports focus, they say. There's an asterisk. Where does the asterisk go? Oh, the asterisk says, at 75 and above milligrams, caffeine helps support focus. This product contains more than 75 milligrams of caffeine. Fun fact. This is vanilla flavored. Cheers. Kind of tastes like the frappe that we had earlier. This is like melted candy, and it's a 2. Private Selection Triple Shot. This is mocha flavored. It is an energy coffee beverage, 225 milligrams of caffeine. What else do you got in you? Brewed coffee, skim milk, sugar, cream, potassium phosphate, potassium bicarbonate, sodium citrate, sea salt, caffeine, natural and artificial flavors. I can't pronounce that word. Sucralose and monk fruit extract. Let's taste. Cheers. It's better than the Starbucks. It's got that weird, super fruity chocolate flavor that I'm not a fan of, but it does dampen everything else. Like 3. It is fine. Last and definitely not least, but maybe least, maybe we'll find out. We have the Java Monster Mean Bean. Now, I was having a good time enjoying some of the branding on this package when we were unloading everything. So allow me to read you the side of this can. No foam, extra hot, half calf, no whip soy latte. Enough of the coffee house BS already. It is time to get out of the line and step up to what's next. Java Monster. Premium coffee and cream brewed up with killer flavor. Supercharged with Monster Energy Blend. Coffee done the Monster way. Wide open and a take no prisoners attitude. And the experience and know-how to back it up. That's a lot of words right there. I think I have perhaps taken a single sip of Monster in my life. I was never really an energy drink kid, so this is gonna be a fully new experience for me, which is exciting. I always like when I get a chance to do that. All right, Mean Bean down the hatch. That was really hard to say with a straight face. That was one of those instances of words just coming to the mind and leaving the mouth faster than anybody processed them. Okay, cheers everyone. Oh, it's weird. I'm assuming this unusual flavor that I have yet to identify is the Monster. It's like you made a latte and then put like a couple mils of Sprite in it. That is possibly the best way I can describe whatever I just experienced here. Frankly, compared to those two, which were just like sugar and dairy bombs, having like a weird kind of cutting citrus soda flavor underneath everything, it's a little bit refreshing, I hate to say. Now, do I like their whole get out of the coffee shop jargon? It's not my favorite. It's like a pretty aggressive like marketing and brand voice strategy, but like flavor wise, if that's what they were going for, it kind of works. Maybe it gets a 4. That feels bad, but I think it gets a 4, which, does mean it is the highest rated in this category. So allow me to go get our favorites. We have tasted many things today, and I think we came out with some things in each category that tasted okay. Now it feels, I'm gonna have some black coffee. I need like to cleanse the palate and the soul from what I have just experienced. Better. Now, I can't really pick one single favorite out of all these, considering they're in such vastly different categories, but as a little ending treat here, why don't we get Graham's thoughts on these and see if he has a favorite? We're also momentarily gonna share the lav mic. Morgan does street interviews with coffee. I just like run up on you and I'm like, drink it! Yeah, that's usually how it goes around the house.
Okay, do you have anything you want me to start with?
Just go with what your heart feels.
How about, you think we can do this blind?
No. You have to taste them.
Right.
This is my street interview.
From right to left.
How does the Mean Bean taste?
Thin.
Welcome to reduced fat milks in RTD drinks.
Yeah, I don't get the Sprite that you're talking about.
I think you may have to have drank 30 cans of dairy prior to it. There is a Monster taste in there. Like it's.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Up until this point, I've only ever had one Monster, and it made me.
We are not connoisseurs of the Monster flavor profile.
I legitimately passed out on a bus after drinking it, so I don't.
You remember little.
Yeah. I worry that may have hurt me.
This is just true thoughts right now.
True thoughts. It's fine. It's a little watery. Everything's thin.
Yes, this is
a little bit of cold brew aftertaste on my palate for too long. I mean, those two are pretty good so far.
perhaps since you're drinking black coffee, we'll
go to the Nitro.
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
The Nitro texture is good. I know it's supposed to be like flavorless, but adds a little sawdust to the profile.
You were being a cruel critic.
Hot take.
It's nice.
Look,
I think what this says is I really need you to go taste all 32 beverages to compare and contrast.
I really need to be here for the whole bit, but I think the chocolate in this is not my favorite. This tastes like it's good, but it also tastes like a mountain trail mix protein bar.
You can go help yourself to the rest of the pile.
You're asking what my favorite was.
Which is your favorite? I guess that is why we are here.
I was like, wow, you're gonna shuffle me off screen. Okay.
Like, okay, just get out of here.
It's one of these two.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think it's gonna be the Water Ave.
All right, the Water Avenue cold brew is Graham's favorite. I think the moral of the story is in this in this house, we do prefer black coffee more often than not, but I think this goes to prove that there are some pretty tasty RTD options out there nowadays. I could clip my lav back on, but I need to go lay down, I think, for a little bit. Either that or go run around in circles for 30 minutes. So without further ado, this was thoughts and feelings and perhaps rankings on RTD coffee drinks. If you have any thoughts or feelings about these, please let me know in the comments. But beyond that, my name is Morgan. You can find me here once a week plus shorts, or you can find me almost every single day on TikTok or YouTube. Additionally, if you go to Morgan Drinks Coffee, you can find more tips, tricks, tools, and recipes. I can't say cheers anymore, and I can't drink any more coffee, so I'm just gonna leave. Bye, everyone. Have a good day. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.